Hello, everyone! Alright, welcome to tonight's candlelight hike. I wanted to give you guys all a warm welcome. Welcome to Schmeeckle. My name is Alex Thomas, and I'm on the Friends board of Schmeeckle board, and I kind of wanted to give a little introduction tonight. Before we get started with our play, I wanted to give a brief introduction about the Friends of Schmeeckle. The Friends of Schmeeckle is a non-profit organization that helps Schmeeckle be funded and helps involve the community out here in Schmeeckle and kind of does community outreach. So I wanted to extend the offer out to everyone out here tonight that if you're interested, if you'd like to learn more about the non-profit group Friends of Schmeeckle, I suggest that you go up to the visitor center there and you kind of check it out and you ask about the brochures, check out the brochures and ask for volunteers out there. So, alright everybody, without further ado, I'd like to introduce Schmeeckle Underground.
Hello everyone, and welcome to the Schmeeckle Reserve Underground Play Auditions. We're going to ask you to help us out today and have a little fun with us figuring out who can be the stars of our show for our underground play. Now, although animals that live underground can be kind of dirty, we're going to have some good, clean fun tonight. So we're going to ask for your participation by looking at the underground attributes that our animals have and helping us judge them with either a thumbs up or a thumbs down when we ask you to. And ultimately, us as judges will decide which animals will be the stars of the Schmeeckle Reserve Underground Play.
They didn't do that last
We should welcome our first participant out then. So our first critter to come to our stage is our ant lion. From the looks of her resume, she doesn't seem very experienced, but let's see how it goes.
Am I in the right location? Is this the audition?
Yes,
Yeah.
This is the Schmeeckle Underground Play Reserve audition.
There are a lot of people here. I was told this was a closed audition. I'm not great in front of crowds.
We got a pretty small crowd, so you'll be okay.
You know, it could be more.
See, I don't like being outside very much. I like staying underground a lot, but my mom wanted me to come out here and try out for this. She's trying to get me to do more things. Well, anyway, I'm an ant lion. My name is Ann. That's spelled A-N-N. An A, an N, another N. There's an A following the first N.
I think I have it down now, but thank you. Yeah.
Yeah, not a lot of people know what I look like. So, sir, would you help me with this photo?
Yes,
It's a beauty shot that I took last October. So this is me. I'm a pretty creature, I know, right? I know. Beauty shot really grabs the essence of who I am. You can keep that for yourself.
Thanks, I'll put it on my fridge.
Well, I guess I should tell you some things about myself. Maybe that'll help you decide that you want me for your production. Let me talk about how I get my food, because I kind of do it in a weird way. First of all, it has to be in sand. I can't have grass or soil or any kind of mud. It has to be sand. That's the first thing I look for. Then I dig a little dip in the sand, just a little tiny hole, and I wait at the bottom of it. And I wait, and I wait. There's a lot of waiting in my life. But finally, I like delivery. So finally a little bug will come along and he'll slip on the sand and he'll fall right into my little hole. And that's how I get delivery. Falls right to me. And then, I know it sounds kind of gross, but I take my pinchers and I grab onto him and I inject him with poison and then suck out his juices. Now I know that's probably not a winning factor, but there's a lot of other things you should consider. See, the butterfly gets all the attention. They go through all these beautiful stages. But I go through stages too, that I deserve attention as well. See, I start off as a little tiny egg, really tiny, and then I hatch into this beautiful antlion. And then after that, I spend about a month or two in this form. And then after that, I wind myself up in silk and cyan, and I wind myself up, and I make a cocoon. And I wait in that cocoon for about a month. Once again, a lot of waiting. And then finally, after a month, I hatch out of it, and I look like a dragonfly. And that's when everyone thinks I'm nice and pretty. I don't get a lot of attention when I'm like this, but I think I deserve it. So I think you should pick me, because if you don't, my mom will be mad, and she's very scary when she's mad. And second, I'm the underdog, and who doesn't want to root for the underdog? Am I right? Okay. Thanks, guys!
Let's give a round of applause for her. What do you all think? Thumbs up or thumbs down? I don't know. Those stages of her life sounded interesting, but it was more like stages of my boredom listening to her talk.
Oh, I don't know what you'll hear all of it.
Well, she seemed to enjoy the dirt a lot, but let's see if our next character has a little bit more confidence in the underground setting.
Yes, let's. Our next option is, it says here, Dixie. She has here that she's known for being cunning and sly, but I think she's at the wrong addition. I don't even know if this next critter is meant for the underground life, but we do need options for our show. So should we let her plead her case for us?
I think so.
So let's welcome out Dixie for our underground production.
Hello, everybody. Oh, thank you. I'm sorry if I scared anyone by sneaking through the audience. I just wanted to get a sneak peek of my competition. You know, I don't get the nickname of being cunning and sly for no reason. No, I don't. But my name is Dixie. I'm a red fox, and I'm here to audition for your Schmeeckle underground play. Yes, I am.
Now, Dixie, are you even qualified to be here? You do know this is a play for underground animals, correct?
Of course I know which audition I'm at. You're a silly goose. Of course, this is meant for underground critters. And let me tell you something. I know a lot of you may not think that I'm underground enough, but I can burrow with the best of them when I need to. Oh, yes, I can. You see, what I do is I take over the dens and the tunnels of other underground critters, and I kick and I kick and I kick using my really strong legs and arms, and I have really tough paws. And I make those dens bigger and wider and better than any underground critter ever could. It's kind of like one of those home makeover shows you see on the TV nowadays. Yeah, I do a lot of improvements. And then with all that extra dirt I kick out of there, I use my big bushy tail you see here, and I sweep, and I sweep, and I sweep. And I get all that extra dirt out, because I really like to keep a tidy home. I do. Oh, keeping a tidy home can be exhausting, but that's not all I do to make a great underground home. Oh, I know. I add secret entrances and exits, because I'm cunning and sly, and it helps keep my kids safe. You're going to hear me say the word kids a lot. That's what I call my young ones. Yes, it is. I can have up to 10 kids in my den with me. 10! And let me tell you something, they're always hungry, always. So, I am a great stay-at-home fox. I bring them things like rabbits, mice, maybe some rats, really anything I can get my teeth into. Squeak, 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 squeak. Oh, I'm sorry, I thought I heard a squirrel. I'll ignore that for now. It's hard for me to focus with these great ears. You see, when I hunt, I do it above ground. And I have amazing hearing. I can hear a mouse squeak up to 330 feet under the ground. And what I do is I focus on that sound, and then I dig and I dig and I dig, and I get it up and I turn it into a little snack for me and my kids back in my den. Yes, I do. I'm an amazing mother. And when I'm above ground doing hunting for my little kids, you, with your human ears, all may be able to hear me calling. But a lot of people... Who is playing that song? I tell you what, young man or young woman, you had better turn it off. You turn it off now. Oh, I'm sorry for that tantrum. Do you know how hard it is to be taken seriously with a song representing you like that? Foxes sound nothing like that at all. Not at all. We actually sound like old women crying out in the woods. It's a beautiful sound if you ever hear it. So, keep your ears peeled for me. And once I've kind of pleaded my case to you all, I hope you consider me a little bit more underground than you ever did before. Because with my great hearing and my great paws, strong legs, I make for a great underground critter. Oh, I'm so sorry. I had to cut my application short. There's a meal, and I have hungry kids back at home, so I gotta run. Let me know how the auditions go.
We understand.
Yeah, good luck. I do hope she catches that food for her kids. She has 10 to feed at home. Well, she had more confidence in that timid ant line we had earlier. What is our audience expecting, but I still don't know if she's underground enough for our production. Let's hope our next character is.
All right, well, I see here we have our next contestant is a toad. And here's hoping, or should I say hopping, that his application is not quite as good as his time out on our stage.
Oh, well, hello there, everybody. How you doing?
Oh, look at him. There's flies and guts and everything all over his frog.
Don't mind the flies and guts. As they said, I am an American toad. Some of you may know some of my relatives, the spring peeper or the wood frog, and you may have even heard my distinctive ribbit near the ponds and lakes and near the springtime. Well, some other things you may not know about me is I'm actually a type. Oh, you hear that?
That's good.
Yeah, that's my toad friends out back. We might meet some of them later on. But some other things you might not know about toads is we're actually a type of frog. That's right. Some humans have made it confusing though and named us toads instead of frogs. So I think I'll set the record straight and fill you in on about my life. As I said earlier, I am an American toad, and one of my favorite things to do is eat. Some of the things I like to eat are earthworms, maybe the occasional spider or two, maybe even a slug. Does anyone out here have any food? I think I might smell some food. Anybody got some food for me? Maybe some earthworms? No? Nothing? Oh, that's okay. Luckily for me, they provided me with a big old buffet behind stage. But before I go back there, I'll tell you a little bit more about myself. As I said earlier, I am a type of frog. But one thing that's different about me is I like to spend my time in the forests. That's right. Most frogs, like leopard frogs and spring peepers, like to hang out in the ponds and lakes. I myself am much more of a forest dweller, and I like to hang out in the moist soil, digging around, looking for insects and earthworms and things of that nature. Yes. Did I mention I like to eat? Did I mention that? Oh, that's my favorite thing to do. Yeah, spiders and slugs and snails. Just thinking about it makes me hungry. Yes. But a few more things I've got to mention before I get out of here. As I said earlier, frogs and toads are a little different, but one thing that we have in common is how we grow up. Has anyone ever heard of a tadpole before? Yes. Awesome. Well, when I was a little guy, I was a tadpole. And for those of you who don't know what a tadpole is, it's just a little guy. It kind of looks like a minnow swimming around in the pond. But as I got older, I started to sprout arms and legs, and my tail started to disappear. And I decided the pond wasn't my sort of thing. I decided to go to the forest, and that's where I stay all year long. Even in the wintertime when it gets cold, I burrow all the way down into the soil, and I stay there for several months. And sometimes it gets so cold that I freeze completely solid. That's right. Fortunately for me though, I eat plenty of food that keeps me nice and warm in the wintertime. And in the spring, I come right back to life, and I'm ready to go again. And there's two things I'm thinking about in the spring. The first, obviously, is food. If you haven't caught on by now, I really like to eat. And the second thing are females. I really like my female toads, and I gotta get them quick because there's a lot of other toads around trying to get in on my action. So what I like to do is I go to a big breeding pool in a pond or shallow lake, and that's where I stay. And all my toad buddies, we gather around and we sing just like a big toad a cappella group. And we'll sing all night long. It's amazing. Maybe you'll hear us later on this evening. Fortunately for me, I've had a lot of practice singing, and it doesn't take me very long to track down a female. Well, I think I've told you enough. I don't want to tell you all my secrets of toad life. So without that, I'm going to head backstage and get into the buffet. See you guys later.
Well, thank you, Mr. Toad. I told him that if he likes the movie Frozen so much, he should probably follow its advice and let it go with all those females. But
Let it go!
didn't listen to me. So, what do you all think of our toad? Thumbs up or thumbs down? All right, maybe we can find out if he's worthy of a place in our production.
Oh my gosh, Jordan. Yeah, I agree. I'm not sure if he's good enough for our production, but our next critter that we have can be seen quite often around here in Schmeeckle. She really knows the dirt and grime here in Schmeeckle. So let's call out our next audition. It is the 13-line ground squirrel.
I caught one of those.
Speaky, speaker. Speak. I can tell by your faces that you do not speak squirrel. So let me say that again. Hello, everybody! It's so great to have you all out here. That's right, I'm a 13-line ground squirrel, and I'm going to tell you a little bit about myself. First of all, I like to dig burrows. Do you guys know what burrows are?
Of course
Yeah, they're pretty great. They're underground tunnels, and I can make one that is 22 feet long. Pretty great, I know. And inside I have lots of rooms. So that means all of you can come and visit, and you can all have your own room. And then in the morning, I'll make us breakfast. I'll have some berries, some seeds, oh, and maybe a nice grasshopper. Doesn't that sound great? Oh, they're real good, I tell you what. Now, you might be wondering, where can you find me? Well, you can find me all over because I like to be above ground just as I like to be underground. I like to be in prairies and fields, and I love the sun. It's my favorite. I like to warm myself in it. So you can often find me right over there, in fact. I like to watch the staff here. They're pretty silly sometimes. And so I like to warm myself in the nice, warm sun. It's one of my favorites. Now, before I go any further, I'd like to put something to rest. It's something that weighs heavily on my heart, and I need to apologize right now. Minnesota is known as the Gopher State. And I am a golden gopher. That is the other name you can call me by. And I don't want you to hold that against me because I had no decision in that. It was my great-great-great-great-grandfather who decided that they were going to be the Golden Gopher State. I don't know if you're aware, but the University of Minnesota, their mascot is the Golden Gopher. But I don't want you to put that in evaluation when you go to pick for me.
No
I had
promises.
nothing to do with that. So now that we have that out of the way, let's move on to more enjoyable topics. You might have noticed that I seem a... Well, that's true, because I'm a very tiny little critter, and there are things that are way bigger out there. Did you see that pesky fox chasing me around earlier? Yeah, she's always trying to eat me for lunch, dinner, breakfast. It's a lot of work staying safe. Also, badgers, have you seen those guys with their sharp claws and big teeth? They're terrifying, I tell you. And don't even let me get you started on the prey and the night, the big birds, hawks, eagles, ugh, terrifying, I've never seen. So I always have to be on my whereabouts. Me and my family, we all live together in our own little burrows. And the one way we stay safe is by being observant. What we do is we get on top of our little mounds outside of our burrows. And we stand there like this. And we wait. And we wait. And we wait. And finally, when it's all safe and there's nothing dangerous around, we make this sound. Just like that. I'm telling you the truth. It's the truth. And we do that several times. So we go up to our burrow, and we stand on top of it, and we wait. And we wait. And we wait some more. And then finally, we make that sound. And that means we can all come out and play in the sun because there's nothing dangerous around. I feel like I've been talking for a while, but it's just so nice up here. It's nice to be around up here. Oh, gosh. Wow. Wait. That was a hawk. I gotta go before I'm someone's next meal. See you later.
Well, thank you, Pip, the 13-line ground squirrel. She certainly had a lot of energy, but I think she might have had one too many nuts because she was a little crazy. Well, maybe we need Pip to put a little pep in the step of this production. What do you guys think? Thumbs up or thumbs down?
Looking pretty good out there. All right, well, let's get moving on to our next audition then. Oh, no. Oh, not again. Okay. I was really hoping she wouldn't show up this time for the casting call. People, she's a real diva. So, just so you're aware, brace yourselves, everyone. This one might be a little hard to take.
Oh, hello, everybody. We can start. I'm here. I'm so sorry I'm late. I'd like to talk about my list of demands for the day of the program. I'm going to need a dark and wet dressing room. I'd like it to be stocked with nice and slimy minnows with dirt-coated grubs, and they have to be fresh. Don't skimp on the freshness. If you even think of putting frozen minnows in my freezer like you would do with the other contestants? Oh, believe me, you'll have a little bit of a meltdown. Also, I'm gonna need a
Excuse me, holy guacamole. Miss Martha Mole, you need to stop for a moment. This isn't how auditions work. We need some introduction and information, and we want to see if you can even get this part.
An audition? Introduction? If I get it? I don't know who you people are, but you must be new to this whole underground scene. Let me tell you something. I am the Starnosed Mole. I am the star of the underground, and I do not audition. So, let's try that again.
Oh boy, this is going to be painful.
But we may need her for the production.
Well, I guess we just got to give her what she wants, and hopefully we can get home. I got a couple of Hot Pockets waiting for me.
Of course, Miss Mole. Oh, please forgive us. We're so embarrassed. It's a mix-up. We know who you are. Your reputation precedes you. But the people in the crowd, they're new. They don't know as much about you. Could you please enlighten us and share some information about us so we can learn more about your fascinating life?
Oh, well, then yes, of course. I'm sorry. If it's just based on your own curiosity, then I completely understand. I have a really interesting life. A lot of people want to know all about me, and I am especially made for this role. Let me tell you why. My nose, of course. Can you not see that it's shaped like a star? I'm a Starnosed Mole. My nose is surrounded by 22 fleshy tentacles, and they are covered, and I mean covered, with sensory organs. 25,000 of them. Way better than those little things that you people call fingers. So, what I use for my nose, it's not just meant for my Hollywood good looks. Oh, no. I can move each tentacle individually and feel around and sniff my prey. And since my nose is so amazing, I don't really need eyesight. I'm nearly blind, actually. And plus, if I were able to see, I might be able to see how amazing I truly am, and then I might become vain, and that's a really unattractive quality.
Well, thank you for all of that.
I'm not finished yet. Where was I? Oh yes, I'm an amazing underground critter. Not just because of my nose, because of my huge paws that you see here. They are even bigger than my own head. Imagine that. When I do my burrowing, I take over and I dig huge tunnels and dens for myself, and I push that dirt aside, and I look for things like earthworms, grubs. They really don't stand a chance when I'm hunting them, those poor little things. But I don't only use my paws for the underground. Oh no, I am not a one-trick pony, let me tell you. I actually am a great swimmer. These paws turn into flippers. Not a lot of people think that moles like to swim, but all of my tunnels end in ponds, streams, lakes. I actually have a bunch just over at Lake Jonas. So when I end up in the water, I can swim with these huge old paws, and then I eat things like minnows and macroinvertebrates. Oh, they're delicious. And again, they really don't stand a chance because my nose still works perfectly under there, of course. I'm able to push air out of my nose and suck it back in. So I'm still able to smell everything in my path. So, with that said, you already can see how amazing I truly am. So, instead of wasting everyone's time, let's get back to talking about my demands for the day of the production.
Well, I think we can wait on that a little bit. Why don't you head backstage and have some of our complimentary buffet? Unless the toad got all of it.
I wouldn't be surprised.
Oh, wow. Well, that was all right.
Yeah, I mean, it definitely could have gone better. She sure is a diva, though. So what do we all think of her? Thumbs up or thumbs down?
Well, I don't know about you, Sierra, but she probably could be the star of our show. Well, folks, we've got one contestant left, and for the sake of this show, let's hope it's a good one.
What's going on out here? Jeez. What is all this racket? What'd you bring me out here for, Jordan?
These are the auditions for the Schmeeckle underground play.
Oh, no. I was talking with that pesky ground squirrel a while ago, and she snuck me in here. I knew I didn't. I'm not a good actor, but since I'm out here anyways, I suppose I could take a few minutes and tell you a little bit about who I am. For those of you who don't recognize me, my name is Bucky, and I'm an American badger. Some of you made me more familiar with my relative, the honey badger. Yes, he's far more outlandish than I am, but I can assure you, even with this cane, I'd like to show him a thing or two about what it means to be a real American badger. Yes. And you'll have to excuse me, my mind is going these days. I'm not as limber as I once was. But one thing that is really strong is my sense of smell. You see, not many people realize that we badgers can smell very, very good. Why? I think, oh yes, I think there might be some salamanders underneath the soil here. I might have to investigate that a little later. Yes, yes. What was I saying? Ah, yes, badgers. Oh, yes, exactly. Thank you, thank you. All right, well, us badgers, you might not know this, but we really enjoy underground. The dirt is my favorite thing. As a matter of fact, in my younger days, I could have dug a 30-foot-long tunnel, 7 feet under the ground. Yes, complete with multiple escape routes, scenic overlooks, patios, and many other things of that nature. I don't want to get into it because you probably wouldn't understand. But these days, at my old age, I like to stick to one singular burrow, and sometimes I even invite a fox or coyote over for dinner because they're really good hunters. They're not the best diggers, but I don't mind their company, and they don't seem to mind my smelly breath. You see, my favorite thing to eat in all the forest are skunks. They're the greatest. Oh, what are you talking about? They're the best. Yeah, some people, for some reason, think that skunks smell bad. I never understood it. But myself, I really enjoy eating skunks. Yes, yes. Now, where was I? Back to my burrow. You see, most of you probably haven't seen me during the day because I spend most of my time underground, hanging out in my burrow, eating food, and maintaining my well-kept fur coat here. Yes, yes. But during the night, that's when I come out. I come out and I patrol my forest. Why, I am the king of the entire Schmeeckle here. Back in my younger years, I would have had 6 forests all to myself. These days, however, I can't patrol as far as I normally would. But, why, just last night I was out and about, and I came across 4 delinquent juvenile badgers messing up my scratching post. They're peeing all over it, spray painting it, graffiti. I don't even know how badgers get spray paint, but they were doing it. It was crazy, I don't understand. But with a little flick of my cane, I scampered them off, and it wasn't too much of a problem. Well, I think I've been up here quite long enough. I've got to get back to my burrow. You see, it's hard to maintain a burrow. There's lots of things to take into consideration, and I don't have a lot of help these days. You see, I've had a lot of relationships in my day, but they only last for a few weeks in the summer and fall. And I would ask my kids for help, but they're just as busy, I'm sure. So I'll leave you with one thing. When you kids get home tonight, make sure you keep your rooms nice and tidy. Because my room when I was young was the cleanest in the whole forest. All right, I gotta get out of here. My legs hurt. I'll see you guys later.
Thanks, Mr. Badger. He sure was a bit of a grump, but I would say that his audition was not too bad, Jur. Well,
Oh, sure.
so what do you folks think? Thumbs up or thumbs down? All right. I think he's pretty good for underground life, but stage life we'll have to figure out.
We will. We've had quite a variety here tonight, Jordan. It's
Yes,
going
we
to be a
have.
tough decision for our underground production. I think we have to deliberate for a little bit, right?
Yes, let's take a moment.
Okay.
Well, let's start from the beginning. The antlion. What did you think?
Well, her beauty shot was incredible, but she was a little timid for my taste. I'm not really sure what I think of her. What about you?
I mean, sure, she's meant for underground life, but stage life, I don't know. She's got the talent, but I think she should stick to her day job.
Yeah, well, let's move on then for right now. What about the fox? She sure surprised me.
I don't know, she was so sneaky. I don't trust her one bit.
Well,
What about that badger? He was a grump, but he knew the ins and outs of his burrow building.
I don't know. He's a little crotchety for my taste. How'd you feel about that squirrel, though? I kind
Well-
of liked her craziness.
I mean, I think she needs to take a chill pill, or maybe 4. But I thought that toad was pretty all right. I mean, he would have to eat way too much food in the buffet, but other than that, you know.
He could work. I think he might eat us out of business, though. What about that mole? I don't think I could work with her.
Well, I mean, she was a great underground critter, and we do need a star for our show. You know what they say, you gotta take the diva with the dirt.
Fine. I guess we can deal with it. So we have our decision then?
I think we do.
Okay. Let's give a big underground applause for our winners.
All right, first we have the badger.
Oh, I knew it. I was never got this darn skinny.
The Starnosed Mole.
And last but ground squirrel.
I like the squirrel.
Thank you everyone for helping us pick our winners tonight for the Schmeeckle Underground
Get out of here.
Thank you. Have a great night. Let's hear it one more time for our underground.
That's a wrap.
Have a great night, everyone.